Hey guys, Tisha here, and we are back for another Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8 review. I don't know if I'm going to really call this a review because I'm going to be leaving a lot out. If there's something I don't talk about, put it down in the comments because I don't care about Giselle's fake man. I don't care about Robin's tears. She got on TV and basically accused this student who made this claim of lying, not knowing the situation. I don't care that Lebe is or isn't friends with Wendy. I don't care that she gave her a head wrap at her daughter's party. These people act like we don't invite acquaintances to parties all the time. I don't care that she gave Giselle a head wrap at her daughter's party. I don't care that her daughter should emulate Libe. I don't care that Wendy keeps deflecting. And I don't care that these people are spending all this time talking about something that at this point is clearly being used as a storyline. What I do care about is that we've heard about this now for 3 episodes and we do not care. What I also care about is how it seems to be okay for certain people to make false allegations and not have to apologize for it, like what they did to Chris, and not be held to the fire like what Giselle did to Chris. Meanwhile, we're talking out about this stupid shrine situation that, in my opinion, isn't relevant and would have not been an issue had Nneka not brought it to the show. Is Wendy wrong for accusing Nneka of doing crack? Yes. Does Wendy deflect? Yes. But let's not just say, let's not do the drug allegations when we have people like Wendy pointing out we shouldn't do any allegations whatsoever. Bottom line, neither Wendy nor Nneka is being completely honest with us about this situation. And even though we are saying it's over, it's obviously not going to be over because this is going to continue to be part of Nneka's storyline. All right. So we see the ladies dancing at the pool. Candace approaches Nneka to gauge her because of the whole back and forth that we've seen. As I said, I'm not going to go all into it. She then approaches Wendy. Wendy says, I'm asking you as a friend to stop. I'm with Wendy. Stop engaging her in this conversation because what you're doing is you're helping her with this storyline. You're allowing this to continue. In confessional, dang, I forgot to put my stuff on Do Not Disturb, y'all, and my niece is calling me. Ugh. In confessional, Candace says that she's not just about to stop doing what she's saying to do just because this is what Wendy wants. Like, that's not how she is. She's going to continue to be nice towards Nneka. I don't think that Wendy was saying don't be nice. I think Wendy was saying don't encourage her. We then see the different ladies go in the car to go out for dinner. Giselle, Nneka, Ashley, and Karen are in one. They are all talking once again about the situation, and Nneka is basically saying that she feels like Wendy is very territorial when it comes to her being on the show. Giselle tells Nneka that Wendy needs to apologize for her. If I was Wendy, wouldn't say anything to Nneka regarding any type of apology until Giselle actually admits about the crap that she did. Because Giselle always seems to want everybody to apologize. Meanwhile, Giselle doesn't do that. Please understand that this right here, this conversation with Giselle, is another example of how Giselle manages to stir the pot, because she did the same similar thing when it came to Candace and Monique. Wendy says that at this point, this lady has called me everything but a child of God. And you don't see why I don't want to be involved with her. And Candace thinks that there is a space for them to come to some mutual understanding. I don't want to talk about this anymore because I don't care. We then see the ladies sit down at the dinner. As they're ordering, question comes up about who swallows. While the waiter is still taking orders, Robin proudly raises her hand and says she's very good at it. I'm not surprised by this. Nneka also says that she does it too. Karen says that given the headline, she wouldn't be swallowing anything from wine. And I'm with Karen. Karen was real funny in the confessionals. Candace says she'd rather be peed on. Then they talk about eating booty. Mia admits to eating booty. Karen says, as you move forward in life, you have to come up with ways to please each other, but I don't know what's going on at this table. I personally like it better when they're like this because all the arguing about the same thing gets tired. As the ladies are having this lighthearted conversation, Nneka then takes this time to shift the energy and talk about how she's glad that they called her because she was feeling very down about trying to conceive. Because we know that other than Wendy, the only other storyline that Nneka has is conceiving. Even though Nneka is an attorney and you would think she would show us some aspects of that. No, of course she can't show us her clients and things of that nature, but show us some behind the scenes things about that instead of talking about wanting to conceive twins and having problems with conceiving. I'm just not buying it. I'm not trying to be insensitive to her possible infertility, but I don't feel like this is authentic, so I don't care. Based on how much fun they're having at the table, Robin invites everyone to her room. We then see that all of them are there. They're talking, they're joking, all these other things. And the first people to leave are Giselle and Karen. Even though Candace and Robin are not getting along, Candace asks her she can put on her slippers. She puts them on. I'm not going to break down this scene completely with the exception that, to me, Robin does have a right to feel a way about Candace wanting to wear her slippers because Candace has been talking a lot of junk about her on the internet. And sometimes, to me, Candace kind of acts like she's oblivious to the things that she does, and also kind of like a pick-me because she really, really wants a friendship with Robin despite all of the things that she said about Robin. Candace then says that Robin has always been like a big sister to me and that being in this space reminds her of the fun that they used to have. Everybody goes to bed. That's the end of that. It's day 2 in Austin. Robin and Giselle join Ashley for breakfast, and before the other ladies get there, Giselle basically apologizes for not being a good bestie because she left Robin alone with ladies that have been trashing her. As they're saying this, the other ladies come in. Well, no, they didn't come in yet. She also adds with Ashley that they both found it odd that Candace even came to the room, seeing as to how Candace doesn't too much care for Robin at this moment. The ladies then arrive. For some reason, Ashley thought it would be a good idea for the ladies to draw their vaginas. We see them have their reactions, and she says, all y'all acting bashful, but you've seen each other's coochies before. Don't act bashful now. When I heard them talking about this, I'm like, okay, y'all, it's not like you have to literally take a mirror and draw it. You could have drew whatever you wanted to, but she pointed out, like, you can draw a flower. But even though we thought everything was going to be lighthearted and that they were about to start drawing their flowers, Karen had to point out the fact that Robin basically got the other penthouse room to make her feel better. She said that there's a whole group of friends that don't quite understand what you're going through, and you're picking and choosing who you talk to, which is causing division in the group. I get what Karen was doing here, but Robin has every right to tell whoever she wants to tell about her business because, let's be clear, they aren't friends. But Karen should have also held her to the fire because we've seen some of the things that Robin has done over the years. And even the people who she does consider her friend, Robin, she's not being completely honest with them. So is Karen really missing anything? No. She says that she's not dividing the group, that she speaks to the people who reach out to her and say, I'm sorry you're going through this. Are you doing okay? As Robin is saying this, we see a screenshot of what Candace wrote. And Candace says, I did exactly that. And you didn't respond. And she's like, why would I respond to you after all the things that you had to say? I've been going through torture. And Candace says, as have I. And Robin says, at my expense. And Karen says, yes, because the focus was mainly put on Candace because you didn't tell your truth, which she didn't. Robin knew all season long about the stuff with Juan and this young lady who was in the DMs and all these other things, and it never once came up. Instead, what they did was they put Candace's situation to the forefront, and whether they want to admit it or not, I think Giselle was placed there as a distraction, and they took full advantage of it. And Candace does have a reason to feel the way that she feels. Karen says, Robin, you need to be accountable for your stuff. And Robin stands up, starts making circles with her arms in the air and turning around saying, I'm here, hold me accountable, hold me accountable. Karen cracked me up in the confessionals because Karen had put on a hat and was like, she's like the I don't know if she said the sister wives, or she made some reference to people who are just standing by their man, and she's like, all she needed was a bonnet. Robin says she doesn't want to talk about it because it's personal, but Robin has personal, but Robin has done this very thing many other times with the tax problems and the whole pizza delivery thing that her and Giselle and Ashley did, and the accusations that they made against Monique's baby and her husband and Candace. And there's many times that Robin has inserted herself in things. We find out that there was a DM exchange based on what Candace said, and she asked her about it, and she said that I had no desire to read it because Juan clears out his phone like crazy. He didn't have any messages, and I don't communicate with thirst buckets. Ashley changes the subject because she wants to protect her friend. That sounds very dumb in this moment. We see the group split in two. Some are going to the distillery. Some are going to a boot place. Robin is about to have to go to the distillery with Karen, but then Candace is nice and switches out stuff with her. As we see the ladies arrive at their different destinations, Robin says she feels like it was a whole bunch of nonsense, them confronting her the way that she did, that she just feels like they just want her to just, like bow down and just admit to things that she just doesn't want to. And I feel like they just want her to own her crap, and that the group just wants her to be honest. But this group that she's with isn't going to make her do that. We then hear Nneka talk about her wedding and all the stuff that went wrong and how she's going to have a white wedding, which is the traditional African wedding, which to me is so much more beautiful than the American one. If you ever get an opportunity to go to one, you should go. It is beautiful. Between the fabrics and the dancing and the culture and the gift exchange, the meaning behind these things, it's a beautiful sight. Okay, so Wendy no longer cares if Robin wants to be with the cheetah man or not. She said, let her do what she wants. If it's good for her, then it's good for her. We see Wendy, Maya, Karen, and Candace go to this distillery that they find out doesn't have wine or beer. It's just whiskey and gin. The rest of the ladies aren't going to drink it, but Wendy and Candace taste some 150 proof whiskey. They make sounds. We then see a bird. Mia says, is that your mama trying to make a joke? Wendy says, don't do that. Wendy explains that there are shrines in Catholicism, but it's not like what Nneka implied. She starts crying. Mia says that she'll leave it alone since it's her mom. End of that. All the ladies meet up for lunch. Karen finds out that she's paying for Twitter because she had the verified check and she was unaware that she was paying for it. Then some kind of way, Mia starts talking about getting Ashley a man. Ashley seems hesitant to this. Then she says, you're still getting a divorce, right? Ashley says, yes. She says she just is trying to work things out because she wants to have her boys during the week and she wants Michael to have them every other weekend. Now, how that's going to work, we don't know, but that's what Ashley wants. I think this is also Ashley's way of trying to ensure that she gets more money. Mia then asks Candace about the lawsuit with Michael. Candace ignores it, like she didn't hear her ask about it. And then she says it again, and she says, I'm not talking about that with y'all, which makes complete sense. And then Robin, the same person who doesn't want to tell her business, feels like they need a list of things they can and can't talk about. We then hear Candace say, Robin, let's be dense another day. Robin says, excuse me. Candace says, we aren't going to do this today. We're going to do it another day. You're being dumb because you know that there is a legal issue right now that I can't talk about. I cannot talk about this. Candace then brings up how, maybe you felt comfortable with talking about what Juan was going through in his case, but I personally feel like that may be part of the reason why Juan is going through what he went through and why his case didn't go well. She says she doesn't want to make the same mistakes that Robin has. Robin then says that's not why he got fired. Robin gets very defensive of this. And in this moment, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to Robin until later on when she played a Karen and she was crying in the background. Wendy then says, that thing that you're talking about is a Title IX violation. And you're saying it has nothing to do with why, Juan was terminated, and Robin says it's straight lies. Wendy explains that the Title IX violation has to do with discrimination based on sex, gender, and culture, and that, of course, the university would think about letting go of someone who is not an upstanding person, and that the things that Juan has done and what has been in the media about him and this possible lawsuit may possibly trickle down, and they may worry about it even affecting their players, which is true. According to not Janelle, where am I? According to, that's how you know I do Sister Wives reviews too much. According to who am I talking about? According to Robin, she doesn't feel like that's why he was fired. But some of this does have to do with why he was fired. Robin says that Smarty Pants can shut up because this didn't have anything to do with what he was accused of. The ladies then leave, go back to the hotel because they're going to go play chicken poop bingo. We then see Giselle by the pool talking to Jason on the phone because she's really trying to convince us that this is really her man. The ladies get dressed, they head to the event, and they leave Robin in the car with Candace, Mia, and Wendy. Robin has no desire to talk to Candace because she did not like that Candace implied that what Robin said led to him being fired. And she didn't necessarily say it led to him being fired, but she did say that it couldn't have helped his case. Robin, to me, is reaching here. This isn't something for you to be overly upset about. Candace has said way worse. She then is crying and saying, y'all are turning me into the villain, and you over there talking about this Title IX and all this other stuff, and I didn't do anything to y'all, and they're crying, and she's crying, and it's to be continued. I don't feel bad for Robin. I actually looked at her like, what are you crying for? You've done way worse to people. You wanted this man so badly. You knew all this stuff was going on, and you still married him. I don't feel badly for you. You guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Sorry this was all over the place, but if I'm being honest, a lot of you don't watch this anyways. Which may be one of the reasons why I had such a difficult time taking notes on it. Until next time.